Welcome to Bloom with Bobby, where women and men from all walks of life share their story. I'm Bobby Hobson, and my guest today, she's a wife, she's a mother, she's a grandmother, she's an author, and she is the creator of a game called Lots of Good Men. Please welcome my guest today, Karen Reed. Hi, Karen.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Now, if anyone has watched has tuned in to Bloom with Bobby at any time, you know that we ask our guests, particularly our female guests, to give us a flower rather, that kind of mimics their characteristic, their own that mimics them. So Karen she has chosen the jasmine flower. So Jasmine, Karen, tell us how you and the jasmine flower, how you guys line up.
Well, I chose the jasmine flower because of its fragrant smell. Jasmine smells so good. If you just walk past a jasmine bush, you can smell it. And so that's what the first thing that I noticed about the jasmine flower, that it's beautiful and it smells good. But why I picked it is because it is such a it's so useful. You can use it for so many different things, so many diverse different things. Jasmine flower, you can use it for your garden. You can just to make it look pretty. And also you can use it in tea. It's usually the jasmine flower could be mixed with black or green tea to make a fragrant tea that is also very calming and relaxing. Jasmine is also in a lot of hair products and body products because it's antibacterial properties and anti-inflammatory properties. And so the jasmine flower adds a lot of value. And I like to think that I add a lot of value. And that's why I chose the jasmine flower.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research about it myself, and I was surprised to know that the jasmine flower is mixed in food. That surprised me because I love it. I use it. I have lotions and potion things like that, but I had
Yeah.
no idea that it was connected to food. So I was surprised by that.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the next thing I want to know, as I always say, I repeat myself in saying that none of us get where we are by ourselves. There is always someone that we stood on their shoulders, someone who is influencing us and impacting us along the way. So I want you to tell us about those people that is in your life.
Okay, so the most influential people in my life, of course, my mom. My mom passed away in 2017, but she always instilled in her children integrity, and she taught us to never beg, borrow, or steal. You understand? She taught us to be honest and hardworking. So my mother had five children, and all of her children are honest and hardworking. And it's to her credit. She really, she instilled that strong belief and integrity into all of us. And so definitely my mom. And ironically, my children, and they're younger, and it's older and younger. I have a boy, and I have a young man and a young woman, and they just are so smart. They're just practical wisdom amazes me every day. It just their integrity and just the honesty and just the respect they have for others is just amazing. So I'm definitely influenced them. They give me advice all the time. So I'm definitely influenced by my children, my daughter and my son. And my daughter, she's a I always brag about my children because I'm just so proud of them. My daughter, she's actually a pharmacist with two doctorate degrees because she has a PharmD, and she also has her PhD in health policy. And my son, he graduated from college and he is a captain in the army right now. And so they're so proud because by the time they had all their degrees, I didn't even have a degree yet. I got my degree after them because that's how influential they are.
That is, you have a lot to be proud about. That's a lot, Karen. That is awesome. It really, really is. This is what I've been wanting to get to. Let me tell you, when we met about a year ago at
Mhm.
a women's conference. And then at that during the nighttime when we were gathering and ladies were giving their testimony, and I think I stepped out, I went to the bathroom, and I came back. When I came back, there were a gang of women standing around you, and I asked them, I said, what's going on over there? And they said, oh, those are single women, and they are playing this game. So I didn't pay any attention, so I didn't think a whole lot about it until about 3 weeks ago, and we met again at a women's conference. And that's when I took a closer look at what you had created. And I was fascinated by it. I said, I want Karen to be on Bloom with Bobby so that she can talk about it and tell people about this. It's funny, it's everything. And so I want you to go into your journey, about all of this. And so the floor is yours. You go right ahead and tell us all about it.
Okay, so in 2009, I was single. I was married before, but I was divorced. And I wanted to be married so bad. I had this strong desire in my heart to be married. And I had a lot of friends who had the same exact desire. And so we would all hang out together and we would do girl parties. And I guess when every time we had a girl party, we would play bingo, we would play Scrabble, we would play different games, but we would always end up talking about men. So one day I said, you know what? Instead of us playing other games, why don't I create a game about men so we can start talking about men from the very beginning? And so I created this game within 15 minutes, my daughter and I together. We created this game called Lots of Good Men, and that's the game you see here. And the website is www.lotsofgoodmen.com if you wanted to know more information about the game. But the game is a ladies' night out game where like we said, we created on a whim. We just didn't know how it would impact women. We created it thinking it was just going to be a fun game. It has 6 decks and it lists the characteristics of a man. And you would have to pick a card from each deck and build a fiance. The object of the game is to get engaged and to know the most about your fiance, the person who knows the most about their fiance. So you would pick a card and you would build your fiance based on the characteristics, based on the first thing you notice about him, his career. It was always a positive characteristic and a negative because we all have positive characteristics and we all have negative characteristics. So even women. And so I had a deck called, the first deck was first look, then career, then first date, a positive, a negative, then a random fact. And you had to get a card from each deck and build upon those cards with additional random facts. And the women played it and they laughed so hard. Some women cried, some women broke out in song. And my son at the time, he was only 14 because this was in 2009. And he said, "What are you doing down there, Mom? Those women act like they're real men down there." And he said, "You're going to need a disclaimer on that game." And I said, so all my friends said, "This game was so much fun. You have to publish it." They said it gives us a different perspective on dating. It makes us realize that people are imperfect, that no one is perfect. And there's some things that you're going to have to deal with, and you have to figure out and really get to know someone to find out what it is that you do want to deal with. Right. And I said, what you can deal with. And so they encouraged me. So in 2021, I finally published the game after years of playing it with hundreds of women around the country. I even played it when I went on a trip to Belize. I went on a trip to Ghana, played it with different people. Everyone loved it. I mean, and so I said, I got to publish it. So, after COVID, things slowed down. Um, and I was able to publish it. And, because you don't have a lot to do during COVID. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to take time to publish this game. So I put it together. I had it printed in a company in China. And that was scary because sending money to China for the first time and not knowing if you're going to receive your boxes or not. I was elated when the boxes arrived. I ordered a shipment of 500 copies, completely sold out of games. I and how I without any marketing, only I put it on my Facebook, but I sold it by word of mouth because I would go to parties, play the game, women would play it, then they would buy it and ask me to come play it at their house. Then their friends would buy it. It was something like a Mary Kay. So I still do that. I still attend parties, go to people's homes. They set up the venue, they refreshments, they invite the friends, and then I have the party. I facilitate the party. So the game is a fun, laugh out loud game. It has evolved into a game that's an icebreaker, a conversation starter, and a storytelling game because you really get to know the people that you're playing with by what they choose in a mate. Yes. And at the end of the game, and you don't reveal your cards to the end. You pick up cards, but you just look at them. You can keep them or you can reject them. And at the end of the game, you reveal your fiance to the other players. And so when you reveal your fiance, you tell your story. So just say, for instance, if you pick someone who's a doctor, you can say it's his career. You can say, well, he's a doctor and he found a cure for cancer. Like you can tell your story. It's you create a narrative based on the cards that you draw. So it's a fun storytelling game and it's very inclusive because every woman gets to play. Every woman gets to be the star of the show.
Uh, I was so taken away. I wasn't taken aback. I was just blown away when I saw this young lady playing the game. You were showing her how to do it, and she was building her quote man. And she's, I don't want that. I don't want him. You said, no, 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 you can't do it that way. And she was like, she didn't like the card she drew, and she like, I don't want him. I don't want him. So I'm like, oh, that's how the game is played. So let
Yes,
me
but
tell you, I bought the game and I
yay!
bought your book.
Uh-huh.
And I do plan to have you come to one of my one of my events, and I want you to facilitate it. And I know we're going to have a girls' night in or a girls' luncheon, something or other, because it is so funny, but it's very revealing. Like you said, it is quite revealing because that young lady it was acting like this was a real man. That she was building this real man, and she had pulled this card. She's like, "Oh no, 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 but Carol, I think you did a wonderful job. I mean, it is. You blew it out of the park. It is a fascinating game. Let me tell you.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. So the next thing I want to know, what would you tell your younger self?
What I would tell my younger self is to read, 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 read. When I was younger, I didn't love to read because when I grew up, as I was growing up, every book about Blacks that was introduced to me were things about the ghetto, poverty, slavery, and it just was so sad to me. And so I lost when I was younger, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I loved to read. And then as a preteen, I lost my love of reading because of the books, because they made me feel sad. And I really and I think those books should be we should read those history books and we should know our history. But at that young age, I really just needed something inspiring. And the books wasn't doing it for me, right? So I stopped reading. And then as an adult, I started reading and I absolutely love to read now. And it's because I'm picking the books that I like. The library is full of books. I would tell myself, go to the library and read. When you're bored and you're a teenager and you think you don't have anything to do, go to the library and get a book. Sit in the corner and read. And you know what? If you pick up a book you don't like it, it's okay. Go get another book and get
Right.
another book. Get recommendations from people.
Hmm.
Ask the librarian. Find out what you like. If you like to learn about money, if you like to learn about makeup, whatever it is that you like, if you like hearing stories of people, learn about people from other countries, there's so much you can get from reading. Reading opens up doors to just so many ideas. You can get so many new ideas. It just opens up a whole new life. It changes your life from two-dimensional to three-dimensional,
Yeah.
from flat to vibrant.
Yeah. I agree, Karen. When you read books, in particular, I love different cultures. I love the fact that someone else may prepare food differently. They do this, they do that. I am fascinated by that because I begin to think, what a mighty God I serve.
Yes,
We serve. It is, oh God, oh, so how can there be, you almost said the hatred of this one and you don't like that one? No, learn. It opens up a whole new world
yes,
because when it all boils down to it, you say, we are all human. We all bleed. If you cut us, we going to all bleed blood. But so learn from the other one to eradicate the fear, because the fear, I mean the fear of the person. That's kind of what causes the biasness and the racism and all those kinds of things. Learn from them. Learn if it's possible. Learn. Don't hate. Learn, and your life will be so much richer, so much better for doing that.
You'll get
Don't be in fear
understanding.
of that other person, or they don't talk like me, they don't look like me. You're not supposed to. Look at your God. Look at our God. You're not supposed to. So
Amen.
yeah. Now you have done a lot. I mean, just to create the game and to write the book is a lot all by itself. And you have these wonderful children out there, young adults. So where do you go from now, Karen? Where do you go? What's next for Karen Reed?
Okay, so what's next for me? Okay, so I love romance. I love love. And so that's why I created the game. Oh, by the way, I did get married after I created the game. Okay, so yes, I am married. So when I created the game, I wasn't married, but I did get married I created the game in 2009. I did get married in 2012. And then I published the game in 2021. And I just love love and romance. And I'm always trying to figure it out and try to understand it. And I met so many women, and I had heard so many stories while playing the game about love and loss, and so many women who have a great desire to get married, but they have so many challenges with marriage. And so I think so I wrote a book. So the book is called Lots of Good Men Meeting and Marrying a Good Man. And the book is a step-by-step guide telling you everything you need to know that nobody told you about marriage. It's not the fairy tale book. And so my where I go from here is moving forward in inspiring women to marriage may not be for you, but just understanding love and romance and life and just growing more into love and peace. That's it. That's all I want to go. That's my focus. That's my mission. Is focusing on helping women understand, and so they won't have to go through the obstacles or challenges that I went through trying to understand it. You know,
Yeah,
helping women to understand love and romance.
yeah. I think I'm hearing you say, once you knew more about Karen, you were ready, or you were in a position to be able to look at marriage through different lens. The way you were looking at them prior, I'm not sure, maybe they were rose-colored glasses, I call them. But once you
Yeah.
realize who you were, who you are, then you were ready to look to, I won't say locate a mate or choose a mate based on where you were at that
And
time.
all
Am I on the right
You definitely on the right path, but you know
okay?
what? Most important, I have a list in the book, and it tells you is a single lady's bucket list. And it's a list that this is the suggestions that I suggest before you even think about in the husband, things you should do. And of course, these things are all about self-love. But the number one thing on this list is develop a relationship with God. Right. In order to have a successful marriage, you have to have a relationship with God.
Yeah.
Yes, because when you have a relationship with God, you can love from the inside out. You're not worried about the physical appearances. You're worried about the character of yourself and the character of the other person.
Oh, you wrote
So
that down, right? You do have it in the book, right? You
yes.
had it in
So
the book.
in the book,
Oh,
the number one is develop a relationship with God. And there are also 11 other things in the book,
mhm.
um, including make sure you financial stability. Get an education, get a career, learn how to take care of other things, get a plant or a pet. I have some suggestions in there, but number one is develop a relationship with God.
That's good, Karen. Where can we get your book? I mean, I have a copy, but tell our audience where they can get your book.
Okay, so the book is sold on Amazon. You just put Lots of Good Men book. I have the ebook, the soft cover, and the hardcover is on Amazon. The game I sell on Etsy. If you're local in the Memphis area, you can just go to website, send me a message. I deliver in Memphis for free. I'm also going to be at a couple of events. On May 3rd, I'm going to be at the Memphis Public Library, the main branch, Bookstock. They're gonna have an author event there, and I will be there selling my games and books. They're $15 each. I will also be at the Bartlett Public Library on June 7th. We're gonna have a ladies' night there. I will also be at the Cordova Library for the Juneteenth festivals there with my books and games. So I do have a couple of events coming up in the local Memphis area. But you could go to my website at any time, www.lotsofgoodmen.com, and you can send me a message and I can make arrangements. You can set up a girls' night for the game as well.
That's great. I love it, Karen. Look, I thank you so much for
Thank
agreeing to
you.
be on Balloon with Bobby today.
Thank you
And
so much.
I will put all of this information in my description box so that uh, individuals, people who may want to go to Balloon with Bobby, they can find that information there as well. But again, thank you so, so much, Karen. Thank you.
Thank, thank you. It was so nice meeting you, and it was definitely a pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you. And thank you for watching Bloom with Bobby. As I always say, you never know when someone else's story may cause your story to end well. So until next time, please tune in to Bloom with Bobby. But until the next time, be blessed.